Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Stephen Fry is a celebrated British actor, writer, comedian, and broadcaster, renowned for his sharp wit, eloquence, and vast intellectual curiosity. Born on August 24, 1957, in Hampstead, London, England, Fry has built one of the most distinguished and diverse careers in British entertainment, spanning television, film, theatre, radio, and literature. Early life and education. Stephen John Fry was raised in Norfolk, England, and attended Uppingham School. His youth, however, was marked by personal struggles, including a brief period of delinquency and a stint in prison for credit card fraud. Despite these challenges, Fry's brilliance shone through. He later attended Queen's College, Cambridge, where he studied English literature and joined the Cambridge Footlights, the university's famed comedy troupe. There, he met and began a long creative partnership with Hugh Laurie, along with other future comedy stars like Emma Thompson and Tony Slattery. Rise to fame. Fry's early television success came with A Bit of Fry and Laurie, 1987 to 1995. The sketch comedy series he co-wrote and performed in with Hugh Laurie. Their clever, wordplay-heavy humor became iconic, cementing them as one of Britain's most beloved comedic duos. Around the same time, Fry also starred as the delightfully sarcastic butler Jeeves in Jeeves and Wooster, 1990 to 1993, another collaboration with Laurie, based on P.G. Wodehouse's classic stories. He gained further acclaim as part of the ensemble cast of Blackadder, appearing alongside Rowan Atkinson, Tim McInerney, and Tony Robinson in several seasons of the series. Most memorably as the pompous General Melchett in Blackadder Goes Forth. Film and theatre work. Stephen Fry has also enjoyed a successful film career. His most notable performance came as Oscar Wilde in the 1997 biographical drama Wilde, which earned him widespread critical praise and award nominations. He has appeared in films such as V for Vendetta, 2005, Gosford Park, 2001, Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, 2011, and The Hobbit trilogy, in which he played the mayor of Laketown. On stage, Fry has performed in major theatrical productions, including Shakespearean plays and modern comedies, showcasing his versatility as both a performer and writer. Writing and broadcasting. In addition to his acting, Fry is an accomplished author and essayist, having published several novels and autobiographical works. His memoirs, Moab is My Washpot, The Fry Chronicles, and More Fool Me, offer intimate, humorous, and poignant insights into his personal and professional life. As a broadcaster, he became a household name as the host of the BBC quiz show, Quite Interesting, from 2003 to 2016, where his erudition and charm delighted audiences for over a decade. Fry has also narrated numerous audiobooks, including the Harry Potter series for UK audiences, further solidifying his beloved status among fans. Advocacy and personal life. Stephen Fry is a passionate advocate for mental health awareness, openly discussing his experiences with bipolar disorder and helping to destigmatize mental illness. He also campaigns for LGBTQ+ rights, having come out as gay early in his career, and for various humanitarian and educational causes. He married Elliot Spencer, a comedian and writer, in 2015. Legacy. Stephen Fry's influence reaches far beyond entertainment. He is celebrated as a modern Renaissance man, a figure of immense intellect, compassion, and creativity. Through his humor, storytelling, and activism, he has inspired millions, bridging the worlds of comedy, literature, and social consciousness with grace and intelligence. Writing career and literary contributions. Stephen Fry is not only admired for his performances but also revered as a gifted writer and storyteller. His literary career spans fiction, memoir, poetry, and nonfiction, all infused with his signature wit, linguistic mastery, and philosophical insight. Novels. Fry's first novel, The Liar, 1991, drew from his own experiences at public school and Cambridge, blending humor and espionage with reflections on truth and identity. It set the tone for his later works, clever, intricate, and deeply humane. His second novel, The Hippopotamus, 1994, follows an eccentric, disgraced poet who investigates a supposed miracle at a country estate. Known for its sharp satire and wordplay, the book was later adapted into a 2017 film starring Roger Allam. Fry continued to showcase his love of language in Making History, 1996, a time travel novel exploring an alternate history in which Hitler was never born, and The Stars Tennis Balls, 2000, a modern retelling of The Count of Monte Cristo. His fiction often merges humor with poignant social and moral commentary. Nonfiction and memoirs. Fry's memoirs have been especially influential. Moab is My Washpot, 1997, recounts his troubled adolescence, brushes with the law, and awakening as a gay man. The Fry Chronicles, 2010, explores his Cambridge years, rise to fame, and early professional life. More Fool Me, 2014, continues his life story into the 1990s, chronicling his growing success and personal struggles with honesty and humor. Beyond autobiography, Fry has written extensively about language and mythology. His Mythos, 2017, Heroes, 2018, and Troy, 2020, series retell ancient Greek myths with wit and accessibility, becoming international bestsellers. These works reflect his enduring passion for classical literature and his talent for bringing complex stories to life for modern audiences. Television and documentary work. Fry has hosted and produced numerous acclaimed documentaries that reflect his intellectual range and curiosity. Some notable works include Stephen Fry, The Secret Life of the Manic Depressive, 2006, a deeply personal and award-winning documentary exploring bipolar disorder, which won an Emmy Award. Stephen Fry in America, 2008, a travel series where he explored all 50 U.S. states in a London black cab, blending cultural observation with humor. Out There, 2013, a powerful two-part documentary examining global attitudes toward homosexuality. He has also been a frequent guest on panel shows, including Chi, Have I Got News for You?, and The Graham Norton Show, where his charm and eloquence make him a standout presence. Philanthropy and advocacy. Stephen Fry has been an outspoken advocate for mental health, LGBTQ+ rights, free speech, and education. As president of Mind, a leading UK mental health charity, he has worked tirelessly to raise awareness and support for those living with mental illness. His openness about his own struggles has been widely praised for helping others feel less alone. Fry is also active in environmental and human rights causes, lending his voice to campaigns promoting global awareness and empathy. His influence as a public intellectual extends to social media, where he's known for his thoughtful commentary and literary flair. Honors and recognition. Over the years, Stephen Fry has received numerous awards and honors for his contributions to arts and culture, including the BAFTA Special Award, 2007, for his contribution to television, the Emmy Award, 2007, for The Secret Life of the Manic Depressive, multiple British Comedy Awards and National Television Awards, honorary doctorates from several universities recognizing his impact on literature and communication. He was appointed Commander of the Order of the British Empire, CBE, in 2022 for services to broadcasting, writing, and charity. Personal life and character. Stephen Fry's personal charm lies in his blend of erudition, vulnerability, and humor. Despite his fame, he remains humble about his accomplishments and honest about his flaws. He married Elliot Spencer in 2015, and the two maintain a relatively private but affectionate relationship. Fry has often described himself as a lifelong learner, fascinated by knowledge in all its forms, from history and literature to science and technology. He embodies a rare balance of intellect and warmth, appealing equally to academics, comedians, and everyday audiences. Major television and film roles. Stephen Fry's acting career spans over 4 decades, encompassing everything from sharp-witted comedies to moving dramas and acclaimed documentaries. His on-screen work has made him one of the most respected and beloved figures in British entertainment. A Bit of Fry and Laurie, 1987 to 1995, one of Fry's defining works. This sketch comedy series paired him with longtime collaborator Hugh Laurie. Together, they created a world of linguistic humor, social satire, and absurd sketches that became cult classics. Their chemistry, Fry as the verbose, sophisticated wordsmith and Laurie as the more grounded foil, struck comedic gold. The show remains a landmark of British humor, influencing a generation of comedians. Jeeves and Wooster, 1990 to 1993, based on P.G. Woodhouse's beloved stories, Fry portrayed Jeeves, the wise, unflappable valet to Laurie's bumbling aristocrat Bertie Wooster. The series perfectly showcased Fry's precision with dialogue and his knack for understated comedy. His portrayal of Jeeves remains one of the most definitive adaptations of the character ever filmed. Blackadder, 1986 to 1989, Fry appeared in multiple series of the legendary historical comedy Blackadder, written by Richard Curtis and Ben Elton. He played several memorable roles, most notably General Melchett in Blackadder Goes Forth, whose blustering pomposity contrasted hilariously with Rowan Atkinson's sardonic Captain Blackadder. His performance became one of the most quoted in British comedy history, "Bah!" being Melchett's unforgettable battle cry. Chi, 2003 to 2016. Perhaps Fry's most beloved role in modern television was as the host of Chi, Quite Interesting, a BBC panel show that celebrates curiosity and knowledge. Over 13 years and more than 180 episodes, Fry presided over the show with a blend of wit, wisdom, and genuine joy in learning. He elevated trivia into art, balancing intellectual discussion with light-hearted humor. His resignation in 2016, citing mental exhaustion, marked the end of an era, but his impact on the show remains indelible. Film highlights. Stephen Fry's film career is diverse, reflecting his range as both an actor and storyteller. Wilde, 1997, his portrayal of Oscar Wilde in this biographical drama was career-defining. Fry embodied Wilde's brilliance and tragedy with empathy and elegance, earning critical acclaim and a Golden Globe nomination. It remains one of his most iconic performances. Gosford Park, 2001. In Robert Altman's ensemble mystery, Fry played Inspector Thompson, adding comic relief to the film's intricate class commentary. V for Vendetta, 2005, Fry portrayed Gordon Dietrich, a sympathetic TV host secretly critical of a fascist government, a nuanced and emotional performance that resonated deeply with audiences. Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, 2011. He played Mycroft Holmes, Sherlock's brilliant older brother, opposite Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law, adding gravitas and charm to the blockbuster franchise. The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, 2013, and The Battle of the Five Armies, 2014, as the Master of Lake Town, Fry delivered a memorable performance as a corrupt but comically self-important leader. Voice work and audiobooks. Fry's distinctive, resonant voice has made him one of the most sought-after narrators in the English-speaking world. He is especially famous for narrating the UK editions of the Harry Potter audiobooks, bringing hundreds of characters to life with nuance and humor. Fans praise his reading as definitive, an integral part of the Harry Potter experience for many listeners. Beyond that, he has voiced documentaries, advertisements, and even video games, Little Big Planet and Fable 2 among them. His narration of mythological and literary works, from Mythos to Troy, also demonstrates his unparalleled ability to make storytelling sound effortless. Public influence and intellectual legacy. Stephen Fry's cultural impact extends far beyond acting or writing. He has become a modern symbol of intelligence, eloquence, and compassion, an advocate for education, free thought, and open dialogue. His lectures, debates, and interviews on topics like religion, mental health, and politics have reached millions. Fry has delivered several celebrated talks, including his passionate defense of free speech in the Intelligence Squared debates and his moving BBC Wreath lectures on storytelling and myth. His style combines classical erudition with modern empathy, encouraging people to think critically, but also kindly. He is widely admired for his atheist and humanist views, expressed with respect and humor. As a patron of the British Humanist Association, he champions reason, empathy, and understanding between people of different beliefs. Modern era and continuing work. In recent years, Stephen Fry continues to write, act, and speak publicly. His later projects include The Sandman 2020-present, voicing Gilbert in Neil Gaiman's acclaimed adaptation. Continued expansion of his Mythos series, including live tours and audiobook releases. Frequent appearances on podcasts, literary events, and social causes. He remains active on social media and in British public life, using his platform to discuss culture, science, history, and kindness with his trademark blend of humor and intellect. Summary: Stephen Fry stands as one of the most multifaceted figures in British cultural history, an actor, writer, humorist, intellectual, and humanitarian. His career defies categorization. He can make people laugh uproariously, reflect deeply, and feel profoundly connected through the sheer power of language. Whether as Jeeves, Oscar Wilde, or the genial host of QI, Fry's presence radiates intelligence and warmth. His voice, both literally and figuratively, has become one of the most recognizable and respected in modern Britain. Above all, Stephen Fry embodies the idea that knowledge and kindness, when joined with humor, can change the world. Awards, honors, and recognition. Stephen Fry's long and multifaceted career has earned him a wide array of awards and honors across acting, writing, and humanitarian work. His influence extends into nearly every corner of British culture, from comedy and literature to education and mental health advocacy. Acting and Television Awards. Fry's acting and television contributions have been repeatedly recognized by his peers and critics. BAFTA Special Award 2007. Awarded for his outstanding contribution to television and broadcasting, particularly for his work on Chi and his insightful documentaries. Royal Television Society Award 2006. For The Secret Life of the Manic Depressive, a groundbreaking exploration of bipolar disorder. Emmy Award 2007. The same documentary also earned him an international Emmy, marking a rare honor for a British presenter tackling such a personal subject. Golden Globe nomination 1998 for his moving portrayal of Oscar Wilde in Wilde. He has also received several British Comedy Awards, recognizing his enduring role in shaping modern British humor. Literary and cultural honors. As an author and intellectual, Fry's books and essays have garnered critical and popular acclaim. His trilogy on Greek mythology, Mythos, Heroes, and Troy topped international bestseller lists and introduced classical stories to new audiences in a modern, engaging voice. Universities across the United Kingdom have granted Fry honorary doctorates for his contributions to literature, broadcasting, and education, including from the University of Dundee, Anglia Ruskin University, and University of Sussex. He was also elected a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature, FRSL, a distinction shared by some of Britain's most prominent writers. Public and national honours. In 2022, Fry was appointed Commander of the Order of the British Empire, CBE, in recognition of his services to broadcasting, writing, and charity. The honour reflected not just his artistic achievements, but also his advocacy for compassion, education, and mental health awareness. He has served as the Rector of the University of Dundee, 1992 to 1998, a position in which he actively engaged with student life and educational policy, further demonstrating his commitment to learning and young people. Influence on British comedy and culture. Stephen Fry helped redefine British comedy during the 1980s and 1990s, ushering in a new era of intelligent, language-based humor. Alongside Hugh Laurie, Rowan Atkinson, and Emma Thompson, he emerged from the Cambridge Footlights as part of a generation that shaped modern sketch and situational comedy. Fry's humor is marked by eloquence, wordplay, and literary awareness, setting him apart from slapstick or observational comedians. His influence can be seen in later comedians such as David Mitchell, Stephen Merchant, and Sandy Toksvig, who also favor intellect over absurdity. Beyond comedy, Fry has also become a cultural educator, using humor and eloquence to make knowledge entertaining. Through Chi, he turned curiosity itself into a national pastime, showing that intelligence and laughter are not opposites but partners. Mental health advocacy. Perhaps one of the most profound parts of Stephen Fry's legacy is his mental health advocacy. By candidly sharing his struggles with bipolar disorder, he has helped to dismantle stigma and encourage open discussion. His documentary, The Secret Life of the Manic Depressive, remains one of the most significant works on the subject. Praised for its honesty and empathy, Fry has spoken about the highs and lows of living with the condition, emphasizing the importance of compassion, understanding, and access to treatment. He has served as president of Mind, one of the UK's leading mental health charities, and continues to speak publicly about emotional well-being. His openness has inspired countless people around the world to seek help and to view mental illness not as a weakness, but as a part of the human experience. LGBTQ+ advocacy. Openly gay since the early days of his career, Fry has been a powerful advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and visibility. His 2013 documentary Stephen Fry Out There examined global attitudes toward homosexuality, exposing injustices while celebrating love and resilience in queer communities around the world. He has used his voice to challenge discrimination and promote inclusivity, both through activism and his own example of living openly and authentically. In recognition of his advocacy, he has received honors from numerous equality organizations, including Stonewall and GLAAD. Public persona and philosophy. Stephen Fry's public persona blends intelligence, empathy, and humor. He is as comfortable discussing Shakespeare as he is chatting about technology or wordplay. His love for the English language and his mastery of its rhythms make his speeches and interviews memorable and deeply human. Fry has often described himself as a humanist, someone who believes in the power of kindness, reason, and curiosity to improve the world. His speeches often urge people to value empathy, embrace diversity, and find joy in learning. His 2015 speech at the Hay Festival, where he declared, "It's not what you believe, but how you behave that matters," encapsulates his philosophy. Legacy. Stephen Fry's legacy is one of brilliance, openness, and humanity. He has bridged generations, a figure respected by academics, beloved by comedians, and admired by millions of ordinary viewers who see in him both wisdom and vulnerability. He stands as a literary ambassador, reviving myths and classics for the modern age. A champion of mental health, who turned personal pain into public awareness. A voice for kindness, reason, and learning in an increasingly polarized world. And a national treasure, representing the best of British intellect, humor, and decency. Conclusion. Stephen Fry is more than an entertainer. He is a storyteller, philosopher, and humanitarian whose influence transcends art and culture. From his early days at Cambridge to his work as an actor, writer, and advocate, he has built a career defined by intelligence, creativity, and compassion. His ability to combine laughter with learning, and honesty with eloquence, has made him one of the most respected and enduring figures in British life. Whether through a witty sketch, a moving memoir, or a heartfelt documentary, Stephen Fry continues to remind the world that curiosity, empathy, and humor are among humanity's greatest strengths. Chronological timeline of Stephen Fry's life and career. Below is a detailed timeline tracing Stephen Fry's life, from his early years in education to his modern achievements as one of Britain's most versatile cultural figures. 1950s to 1970s. Early life and education. 1957, August 24. Stephen John Fry is born in Hampstead, London, to Alan Fry, a physicist and inventor, and Mary Ann Fry, of partly Jewish descent. He grows up in Booton, Norfolk, with his brother Roger and sister Jo. Late 1960s, early 1970s. Attends several boarding schools, including Uppingham School and Stouts Hill Preparatory School. Despite academic brilliance, Fry struggles with depression and feelings of isolation. 1972 to 1974. Expelled from 2 schools and later arrested for credit card fraud at age 17. He spends 3 months in prison, an experience he later credits with transforming his outlook on life. Mid-1970s, after release, Fry studies for university entrance exams and earns a scholarship to Queen's College, Cambridge, to study English literature. Late 1970s to 1980s, Cambridge and comedy breakthrough. 1978 to 1981. At Cambridge, Fry joins the Cambridge Footlights, a legendary student comedy troupe. There he meets Hugh Laurie, Emma Thompson, and Tony Slattery, forming friendships and creative partnerships that would shape his career. 1981. Co-writes and performs in the Cellar Tapes, a Footlights revue that wins the Perrier Comedy Award at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. 1982-1983. Begins working on television and radio, contributing to shows like There's Nothing to Worry About and Al Fresco, alongside Hugh Laurie and Ben Elton. 1986 to 1989. Gains national fame through appearances in Blackadder II, Blackadder III, and Blackadder Goes Forth, playing memorable characters such as Lord Melchett and General Melchett. 1987. Launches a bit of Fry and Laurie with Hugh Laurie, a sketch comedy series that would run for 4 seasons and become a cult classic. 1990s. Establishing a versatile career. (1990 to 1993) stars as Jeeves in Jeeves and Wooster, the beloved television adaptation of P.G. Wodehouse's novels, with Hugh Laurie as Bertie Wooster. The series garners international acclaim. 1991. Publishes his debut novel, The Liar, blending comedy, espionage, and autobiography. 1994. Releases his second novel, The Hippopotamus, later adapted into a 2017 film. 1995. Writes and appears in the film Peter's Friends, directed by Kenneth Branagh, alongside Emma Thompson and Imelda Staunton. 1997. Stars in Wilde as Oscar Wilde. A career-defining performance that earns him a Golden Globe nomination and widespread critical praise. 1997. Publishes Moab is My Washpot, his first memoir, revealing his struggles with adolescence, identity, and sexuality. 1998. Stars in Spice World as a cameo, Inspector, and appears in a civil action with John Travolta, showcasing his growing presence in Hollywood. 2000s. Acclaim as writer, host, and documentarian. 2000. Publishes The Stars Tennis Balls, a modern retelling of The Count of Monte Cristo. 2001. Appears in Robert Altman's Gosford Park, which wins the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. 2003. Begins hosting QI, Quite Interesting, a BBC panel show celebrating curiosity and knowledge. Fry.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.